The meat and potatoes is the mechanical line counter here. There's a service screw over here, which I'm pretty sure you have to go into every once in a while to either clean it out or lube it again. Like I said, you push down the little knob over there to reset it. This was one of the main reasons why I wanted this. The fact that it's a level wind is nice too, because like I said before, I used to count the bars going back and forth, but you don't need that anymore. But it's going to put the line back on very nicely on the reel. This is one of the ones I've wanted for a while. I just didn't understand what cold water meant. I didn't realize that it's no different than any other reel. It's just that it had its beginnings from cold water usage. Good morning, guys. This is Scuba Chris, and I got here 2 cold water reels from Okuma. So why are they called cold water reels? I mean, there was a time where I thought, oh, it's only meant for cold water. Maybe because they have line counters on it, that the screen has been coated with a protection so the condensation won't get in the way. And actually, that part is true. It has been coated with a substance where it won't fog up. But I thought, oh, maybe there's a type of grease in it that will hold up better in cold water. There's no reason. It was used specifically. It started with the Pacific Northwest, and to the Great Lakes. They were targeting salmon, trout, steelhead. So that's how they got its name, cold water reels. It was used mostly in cold water, and it's stuck ever since. Now, why do I want to use this here? Well, back in the 70s, I used to have a dive boat, a large inflatable with a fiberglass hull to it, and I would go around diving, and that's what I did at the time. And when I went along the shoreline, I used the old Penn 209 and 309 level winds, and those are great for trolling. And I've caught a lot of fish using that. I've caught in shallows, like 20 to 100 feet. I've caught uluas. I've actually caught tunas. I've caught wahoo, all up in the shallows, and I just progressed up from there. But I started with the 209 and the 309 level winds, and I like it because what happens is with the level winds, I can count how many times the line, the bar goes back and forth, back and forth. So if I want the lure to be behind the whitewash of the engine in the back, I would count 1, 2, 3. So normally like 16 and a half bars will put the swivel at the end of the whitewash, and the fish will only see the lure in the back, so it looks like a fish following in the white wake line. And I used to do that for quite a few years, and I caught a lot of fish, and I was only doing it on the side, not for business, just to bring home fish, to give away and to eat. But that's how everything started. So I'm going to continue that by using the cold water reels by Okuma, and let's see how we do. Let me show you something very simple that it's a common mistake that people make when you look for it at a line counter reel. It's how the line counter itself works. Now, this one here, Okuma did do a couple upgrades, only 2 upgrades, which is make sure, because it's out there in the code, that the screen here has a protective coating so it will not have condensation in the inside. And right here, you get your reset button. Now, say if you're playing around with it, you're at the store, you're at home like me, and you go, oh, look, I'm playing with this. Now, look at this. See the counter? Reads 930. Now, that's not meters, that's not yards, that's feet, 930 feet, okay? So, if you're playing with this at the store, and you go, look at this, I'm playing with it, look at it. Now it reads 923. So you're going to go up to the sales clerk and say, hey, what's going on here? Is it going to go in reverse when I use it? No, it's because you're playing with it. Now, if you were to put this on the rod and do this, you just busted off all the guides and the tip off the rod because you're bringing the hook and the lure down to this. What you want to do is the opposite. You're going to let it out. So once you start letting out the line, then the counter will do what it's supposed to, which is measuring the amount of line going out. But when you're playing with this, just remember, you're bringing line in. So right now it's saying 911. Depress the little button on the side, Is it a depress? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's pushing down. I thought it was a depress. It's over here. You push down on it. Okay. So you push down on this and you reset it. You're back to zero again. So that's the way it works. So what kind of line am I going to use? Well, I'm going to be going the shallows. I'll be putting out lines starting from about 20, 25 feet down to maybe 100 feet of depth. So I was thinking I'm going to go all braid in one. And the reason why I'm going to go all braid in one is because the line's going to be hid in the white water from the prop wash. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to use the counter. And I'm going to check out the engine. I got to make sure that at 1300 or 1100 RPMs, the white water is going to be at a certain level because I have to get used to my friend's boat because I did it with my boat before. So when I figure that out, I'm going to make sure that the swivel that's coming out from this will be at the end of the white wash, and the leader from the lure, which is going out 8-10 feet, will be exposed. So that's why I wanted the line counter to put it exactly there. I also found out that for going the shallows, that I like to put my second lure twice the distance that first one's going to be at, because if I put it out longer, what's going to happen is the line's going to be more exposed, and it's just more humbug with more line to take in after a hit. So this way I wanted the line counters because I wanted to be sure that I wanted to set everything where it should be. Also with the old Penn 209s and 309s, I always have to open them up and rinse them out, clean them out. What's nice about these is that they already have holes. See that ported holes already? So any moisture that gets in will go out. But it's also good to spray lubricant in those holes after a couple usages. So let me go through what you're getting. Basically, these reels are just basically star drag reels with a line counter, but these are really good reels, good quality. And let me go down the list of what you're getting. First thing is they have a multi-disc carbonite drag system, which will help slow down the fish. It has a 20-pound max drag, which is more than enough. So I would say that you can bring in fish probably in the 40 to 50 pound range, because you're not going to overhorse it. You just play it out a little, bring it in. I would say that's the general range, and these reels here should be able to handle that. I also have the large one, the 500 series without the line counter. So if I use that, I'll use that line to go further out. They come with aluminum handles with ergo grips. So when your hands are all wet from bait slime or the water, you're not going to slip. Cold waters have 2 ball bearings and 1 roller bearing. Also a quick set anti-reverse, see, will not go back, so that will give you peace of mind. The drive and pinion gears inside are overcut brass gears. Also, all these models are internal self-lubricating. And the gearing here has what is known as a speed lock pinion gear. The spools are 2-tone. You see how beautiful that is? All 2-tone aluminum spools. Being an old timer myself, I prefer the star drags. I really like star drags. I always got off on having a reel with star drags. Now this is what's known as a wide mouth level line, because up in the Great Lakes where the water gets more than 1,000 feet and it's cold, right? They use copper line, and what the copper line is inner infused line with copper in it. So the weight of the line will help get your bait down faster. So this is why they call it cold water reels, is because in certain areas like the Pacific Northwest or the Great Lakes, it's cold. They use it for slow trolling in the back, which I've done with the flashes. We went off what was it, Ilwaco River, I'm sorry, Columbia River off Ilwaco, Washington. That was years ago with my friend Phil Nuneman, and we, in the back of the boat, we had similar reels, not these types, but similar reels. We used flashers, tied line directly flashers, and the flasher is flashing back and forth. And the back of it, we had live or dead bait, and that's how we got our cohos or the silver salmon. Remember, I showed you the warranty card, so make sure you fill in your card, send it in. You have a limited 1-year warranty. And for the ladies, you look online, there is a pink version for you ladies. So just a couple quick stats. Gear ratio is 4.2 to 1, which means that for every one crank of the handle, the spool is going to rotate 4.2 revolutions. Max drag is 20 pounds, so there's more than enough pressure you can put on the fish. The weight is 21.8 ounces, and you get both the right hand and left hand retrieve. So make sure when you order it, it will state R for right, L for left. All right. Let me go through some of the line stats here for you. Okay. Let me look at my quick notes here. You can use 20 pound, and it's going to be 580 yards. You can use 25 pound, it's going to be 430 yards, and you can use or 30 pound for 330 yards. Now, like I said, for myself, I'm going to use one with braid. It's going to most likely be 50-pound braid, and I'll be able to get a lot of braid on it, but I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top, maybe 3/4 weight. Don't need to fill it to the top. So that one will be just in the bubble range of the engines in the back, and I'm probably going to put 30-pound mono for the one further back, because it's going to be shallow water trolling. We do have big fish. I've caught GTs and other fish in the shallows, but I think the 30 pounds should be enough. Plus, I'm going to get the yardage. It's rated for 330 yards, 430. Thanks.